Alrighty. So there was something that I missed last week regarding order blocks. So what they are is the last opposing candle before a displacement move. An order block is the last candle before the momentum move that is most likely will create a fair value gap as price moves in that direction. So if we're looking for buys, then we're looking for an OB. We're looking for a bearish candle to be broken. And if we're looking for sales, we're looking for a bullish candle to be broken, is what it means as far as last opposing candle. So with that being said, that's the example. I want y'all to look at this one. So this is the same chart. However, let me go back real quick. I highlighted is this the same? It is not the same. Sorry. So it's similar, but I highlighted something different. And I want you to look at the difference. And what do you notice about these order blocks and how price reacts to them? And can you all see my cursor? No, probably not.
No.
Okay. So I've been playing around with whether or not I was going to use Zoom or what is this, Google Meet? And I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to Zoom. I just didn't have enough time to do it today. I should have done it earlier so I could get the premium account without having to have a time limit. But if you look at all of these are variations of order blocks, but the order blocks that have the blue trim and the order blocks that have the green trim are slightly different. Can anybody tell me what the difference is as it pertains to how price is behaving?
Is
Can you?
it one is like the, are you saying like the blue trend?
I'm saying, let me see if I can. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and annotate. So we see that price is we have a low, then we have a high, then we have a higher low, and then a higher high, and we have a higher low, and then a higher high, and then price comes back and it breaks this level. Oh my goodness, that just disappeared. It breaks that level. Did you guys see that before it disappeared?
Yeah.
Okay, because that was definitely user error. So price came to this, made another higher high, and then it broke and made a lower low. Then it came back to this variation of an order block, and then it sold. It broke this previous structure. So there's a difference between this type of order block right here, the one that has the blue trim, and then the order block that has a green trim. And we see the difference from that explanation?
You mean one was like still stayed there and then the other one broke?
Yes, perfect, Raquel. Thank you so much. This one, these OBs here, they held price did not break below them. These OBs right here, they did not hold price, broke through, came back and retested these areas and then sold. So this is actually a signature entry model right here. And the name of this OB is called a breaker. So it's very important that I had to come back in and show you guys this because I know I can't remember if it's Kristen or Lauren, but this weekend when you were talking about order blocks and the order, and I was going back and thinking, I was like, I'm missing something that I didn't communicate well, and I don't
Mhm.
communicate it as much and say breaker like that, but I know that it is a breaker. So I hope that helps, and I want to show you guys and then go back and explain further.
No, I appreciate that for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to release this annotation. Stop annotating. Okay. All right. So a breaker. So we saw in the last example, we watched the behavior. We watched how the zone originally held with the boxes that had the blue trim, and then price broke through similar boxes that had the green trim. So that flip is very important. It tells us that the market is no longer respecting that previous zone, which also is one of the catalysts for a change in state of delivery as well as market structure shift. So market structure shift. So these three kind of go hand in hand. Not always, because sometimes there won't be a breaker to the left, and sometimes price will just continue to sell. But oftentimes, more times than not, there will be one. And when there is one, that is even more of a confluence of us to like, hey, okay, price not only is it reversing, but it looks like I might have an actual entry. So, looking at this pink box, the definition of what it actually is, a breaker is a failed order block that gets broken and flipped to support the opposite direction. So it creates an order block, it returns to it, respects it the first time, but then it breaks through it with force, and that's that displacement. And so, why this is important is it confirms a real shift in control. So, especially if we saw that there were order blocks that held on the left, and then all of a sudden we don't see that those levels are holding and prices breaking through them, it gives us the opportunity to have some good entries, which goes to number two. It acts as a high probability reversal zone. Additionally, it works alongside change in state of delivery as well as market structure shifts. So the change in state of delivery shows the moment delivery shifts, and then that actual shift is shown by structure changing. So I know that sounds like they all the same thing, but they are signaled by different candles or signaled by different things, but they all go hand in hand. Like when I take a trade, I want to see a change in state of delivery. I want to see price break through the last opposing candle, and then I also want to see the actual structure breaking like we just saw. And then the order block is the additional confirmation that shows us a possible retracement level where price will go to after the structure has been broken and after a change of the state of delivery has been created. And then also it helps to eliminate false OBs. So you don't have to think, we wait for the candle to close, of course. And so when that OB is broken, you instantly know it's invalid. So you don't have to try to force a trade. You don't have to try to hop back in it. And you might have taken an L, but at least, okay, I took an L on this chart, on this trade, because I might have been on the wrong side and it invalidated my setup. But let me wait, see if another candle or two will close and see how price will react around this area. All righty. So I definitely want to go back and talk about that because, yeah, I felt like I was like, I'm missing something. But yeah, so we went over all of these other ones: Fibonacci, VWAP, previous highs and lows, liquidity sweeps, as well as OBs. And this is, we went over this also as well, but I just want to continue to reinforce how they're all connected with as far as the trend showing us control. And then when we have a market structure break, how that control continues. And then as it pertains to market structure shifts, which I just stated go along with the change in state of delivery, these are signals that show that control may be changing. All right. And then we talked about these examples already last week. And then we brought everything all together with confluences. I just want to reiterate again that everything will not be used at one time. The trade that I took today did not have absolutely everything, but it was an A plus trade. Actually, it did have everything. Today was an A plus trade, and I'm gonna show y'all after we finish because it had all six of the our confluences in our favor.
I was just going to
Um,
ask if you could show us, yeah, so we can
yes,
see an ideal trade.
yes. Would you like me to do that now before we get into the next level, or
Um, Actually, yeah, just briefly.
okay, no problem. Let me see. I will stop sharing for a second and then bring this back up. Oh, it's all on the same screen. I'm not quite sure why I did that. I've been trying to stop doing stuff on my work computer, but I got home with such short time. I was like, I just have to use it. Okay. So I'm sharing this tab. Can you guys see my cursor at all? I'm assuming not. Okay. And that's so
Um,
weird because
l-
sometimes it does it and sometimes it doesn't.
like I can see it now, like when you're moving the box over,
Yeah,
but let
when
me
it's
see.
moving, we can see it.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Can you see a crosshair? Y'all probably can't. Y'all might not can see that either. That's okay.
Actually, that is showing up, like the fine little
Dotted
lines that
line?
are crossing
Okay.
over. Yeah.
So y'all see me moving in the circle right now.
Yes, I can see
Okay,
that.
perfect. Okay. So this is the trade that I took on the combine that we all got together. Let me update this canvas, show session breaks, text. Alrighty. Okay. So this is today. So these session breaks that I have here, this blue This shows when the market opened at 6 p.m. and when it closed the previous day. Let me also change this symbol because I do not want military time. 12 hours. And ladies, what I did was I right clicked and I went down to settings, and then you have the opportunity to change the colors of your candles if you like. They don't have to be like mine, of course. And then you can do them on both sides. You can change it for your up bullish as well as for your bearish. Alrighty. Did I change everything on here? Okay, cool. So what happened on this chart is we had this blue fair value gap that had been going for a couple of days now, since October 18th. This came from probably the 16th. But there was also a daily level that was down here. So once price came and it wicked, this was a liquidity grab. Price came, got that from yesterday, which was Tuesday, and it turned back around. Now, the trade from yesterday that that I took this sell, and you guys can see the explanation in the Discord. I took this sell and I took it very late because of work, but I also wanted to wait for price to close below this fair value gap because in my mind, I thought that price was going to continue to sell. Let me slow down because I'm moving fast. So I'm going to take y'all from yesterday's trade into today's trade. So I'll type it right here. Our anchors that we are looking for are our confluences are the VWAP. We're looking for previous highs slash previous lows, and that can be on a session, that can be on a day, that can be anything, a previous candles high, you know what I'm saying? As far as structure is concerned, we're looking for, first before all of that, we're looking for some type of liquidity sweep. And we want that liquidity sweep to happen from a previous day low or high, or previous areas structures high or low. And then we want the VWAP to occur. And then hold on.
I just asked to join from my
Okay.
computer.
Okay, great. I saw an M and I was like,
Yeah,
that ain't Mickey,
just
but okay,
swapping.
got it. So let me go back.
I'm also about to switch devices, so it's probably gonna have you. You're probably
No,
gonna
that's
see
Yeah,
another one pop up.
that's what I
Okay.
that's
just
okay.
had to
I
do.
just saw it shows like the first initial, and I know Mickey yours says S. So when it said an M, I was like, there's nobody else M on this call.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. So the VWAP, and then we're looking for fair value gaps, breakers slash OBs, and then the fib would be the last. Now, we won't always get all six of them, but ideally, we want a solid, we definitely want the liquidity sweep. We want a previous high or low. We want VWAP to respect price, and we do want it to come out of a very fair value gap, especially a 15-minute one. The OBs and the breakers are additional, especially if we're looking for a reversal with this breaker. And then the fib is just like the cherry on top. All right, so I will leave. Let me make this white since my background is black. And y'all, I don't know why I use different. I got different charts on different colors for different charts because, like, when I be at work, I use like a darker screen because I have a privacy screen, so it keeps people like a little less from looking at. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize. You'll see white and you'll see black.
Did
Okay,
you
so
accept me yet?
oh, I'm sorry, girl. Thought I did not. Got you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So going back, we see that this is during the Asia session. So this kind of goes into what we are going to talk about today. Asia session starts at 8:30, 8 o'clock. So I'm going to mark a box from here to price from 12 to 12 o'clock, which you can see the time at the bottom of this screen right here. So I'll mark this box, and this lets us know Asia session. Now, ideally, Asia is consolidating back and forth, but we had a lot of selling pressure. So I wasn't quite sure after that either. And then London session, and I don't trade during Asia or London because price has not developed enough to tell me what it wants to do. And I have lost enough money thinking that I saw something that I did not see.
That was actually going to be one of my questions if you do any of the others.
I don't. But the thing about that is, if you do it, it has to be something that it has to be immediate. It's not because you don't have anything to go off of. Like how price continued to sell, it came into a 15-minute fair value gap right here. And it did, and price did actually sell from 8:30 all the way down to 11 p.m. So there are trades that can happen. I just know me, I don't have the temperament for it because one, price moves a little bit slower. Two, I like to be on the charts and actually watching and seeing what's happening. And I just didn't have that. I be in the bed. So that just ain't mine. But it can happen and there is success. I will say that price will show you at least 2 to 3 times a week that there will be some movement, at least for a smaller 40, 50 point move during Asia. So this is Asian session, which I will make this blue. Oops. And then this is London, and I'll make that orange. All right, so we see that price didn't take out the high or the low of any of these yet. So we don't have any liquidity being swept. Ideally, I would have liked for a sale to see price come down. Oh, you know what? I actually missed this in real time. I missed this in real time. So London actually did sweep. It came right here and it swept Asia's high. So this could have been a signal for us to buy. However, when price didn't break above Asia, I didn't know if price wanted to continue to go up. I didn't see anything. And then when 9:30 hit, price continued to go below this VWAP. So at this point, I'm looking for sales, at least in the short term. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
we didn't have a session sweep to the high. So Asia is a session and London is a session. We didn't have a sweep from the high going down. So I wasn't sure about a sell until 9:30 happened. Because we had all this consolidation, prices bouncing back and forth. Don't really know what's happening. If you were up during London, I guess this could have been a trade, but I wouldn't have taken it because price didn't respect the VWAP. Okay, Raquel, I'll send you the recording. And so at New York, I'm still not quite sure what's happening. And then when price came, it took out this previous high right here. I'm like, okay, we got our first thing, our liquidity sweep. It took out a previous high, so we got our second thing, a liquidity sweep. Is it respecting the VWAP? Yes, it is respecting the VWAP. Is there some type of fair value gap that's near us? So I like to go to the 15-minute to see if there's a fair value gap. I don't see a fair value gap here, but we can also go down to the 5 and see if there's a fair value gap. And that'll suffice as well. There isn't one here. There isn't one there, but there is one that's right here. So I never take a trade at market right at 9:30 anyway. I like to wait at least for a 9:33 or 9:35 candle. So that first 3 minute candle and that first 5 minute candle to see what's happening because all of this is 160 points of just wick. You don't know what's going on. You could clear a count out fast, especially with all of this consolidation that happened. So price came here. This was the 9:30 candle. This was the 9:05 candle, but price hadn't broken anything. So now I'm looking for a pink candle, a bearish candle to break a previous structure point as well as a blue bullish candle, right? Because that would be my change in state of delivery. Does that make sense so far, ladies?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay. So we finally get that with the close of this 9:40 candle, and I'll draw a line here. Well, actually, I'll draw a line up here because this is what I want to break. So price finally did that at this 9:40 candle. Now I'm looking for some type of retrace. So there was a fair value gap that occurred from here to where price actually had closed. And my fair value gaps for 5 minutes are red. So I'll put that here. And you also can save these if you like by going to right clicking, going to template, save as, and then I'll just do my M5. All right, so when this happens, I'm looking for a retest. So if I'm looking for a retest, I can go down to my 3 minute or even my 1 minute. And I got to go all the way back because price will take you all the way back. I'm going down to the 3 minutes. So we already know that price is broken right here. We got another 3 minute OB that was created right there. Price came and with this fair value, this VWAP, and we could have placed an entry right there for a sale, depending on how quick you are. But I like to give a little room because I know ain't nobody's going to be absolutely perfect. But after you enter, you give yourself a 50-point stop. You can do a 2-for-1 ratio, or you can take price to the next structural limit to the left, which would have been right here for 90 points. Or you could have took price because momentum was taking price lower and market had just opened. It could have gone to the bottom of this fair value gap. And that would have been your trade because you have everything that you needed. Now, in this case per se, price, we don't really have a fib that can be drawn. Not one that I would really draw because we don't have a price never created this is more of a reversal. So price, there's no fib to be drawn because it didn't continue from anywhere. It's turning around. I guess if we wanted to, we could draw one from a pre-market one from this high to the pre-market low. And price did actually come back down to that 78. And this isn't drawn right, y'all. I'm not even gonna do that because I haven't set up this chart at all. But we could have drawn a fib right there. It wasn't necessary, but we still see that we had to sell. And maybe we could have drawn the fib because it would have given us an opportunity for even a better entry. But this entry happened during right at market open, which I wouldn't recommend anybody entering. Let me switch this around because I don't know why that even looks like that. And I have to change my colors too because these aren't right. My 61 is this. We don't need these. We don't need these. We don't need these. Purple and blue. I'm missing those. Okay. So this is my TP1 negative 0.27. And then my TP2 negative 0.618. I don't know why they did that. I don't want any background. And then I'm going to save this as a template as well. So I'll draw it from, if I'm looking for a sale, draw it from the top to the bottom. This level here. And this should be going in the opposite direction. Oh, my bad, because I did say reverse. And I shouldn't have. So price came up to this golden zone level. I like to call these three the golden zone, a 78%. And then it continued to sell. And it actually did sell at that it stopped at that TP2. Now, in all transparency, the trade that I took was not the best. I have had meetings, stand-up meetings every day this week from 9:15 to 9:45. So by the time I even get to the charts, I'm like, okay, I missed a perfect entry. So after price had broke below, this is not the entry that I took, but this is just the one that I'm showing you all right here. That would have been a perfect entry. The one I took was right here. Price had broken below this fair value gap. This 15-minute had broken below. And so I wanted to see where price was going to retrace. I turned my head for a second and price was already back down here. So I went ahead and I entered with a smaller leverage. And I just put my stop at 50. And if I was going to get stopped out, I was going to get stopped out because it was a 1.3 to 1, which wasn't a great ratio. But I had already seen this level right here when I had marked it out because price was hesitating a lot around here. So price had came back up, sliding all around y'all, I'm sorry. Price had came up and then it started to like come back on this 1 minute candle. And so that's when I went ahead and got out because I was hoping that it would continue to sell down to another level, another daily level. But when it didn't give me that, and I had already made my dollar amount, I was done. My goal every day is to make at least 300. And I had made the 531. So I was done. So this is, even though this is not a perfect trade that I took, the setup was there, but this also goes to show you like, even when you don't have a great setup, if you have good risk management and also discipline to be able to say, okay, I see that I've not only that I've made my amount, but it looks like price doesn't want to give me anymore. I'm gonna get out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So that was yesterday's, and I'll tell you about today. So today was A plus. I was a little disappointed that I missed such a great entry, but it ain't gonna be perfect, especially when you're working. So we get what we can get and we go on about our business day. So right here we have this is already a 15-minute fair value gap we see. And then we have another one that's actually right here from market open. I'm sorry, during London session. And price came down and it swept that same level that it couldn't break anymore. So this for me was the beginning of okay, price looked like it might actually want to buy. So we saw that price came back above the VWAP. It did come around here. I think around this time is when I started to post and I put it in the chat. And then when market opened, it came and it swept these lows, these relatively equal lows that were made right here during London. It came down to this 15-minute fair value gap. Go ahead and change that color now. It came here and then price broke quickly right back above that 15 about this VWAP. So going down to the 5 minute, price came, this 5 minute candle that happened at 9:35, it broke above this last bearish OB. So right here, we will look for a retest back into this fair value gap or back into some area between here and there. So price came, and I would actually like to have seen that it had broken or came back to this wick right here. It didn't quite come all the way down there, but even if we didn't have an entry that was perfect right there, we could have got in. Oops, we could have got in for a long here. Let's say there, and then had a 50-point stop, and then taking it to either here, which was the next structural level, or here. But because price was pushing so hot, so fast, I would have taken it here. And this is actually a great area here or here. And I got out shortly after that because I actually wanted price to come all the way up there, but it was moving too fast, and I had already had enough for the day, so I got out. But that was a trade. That was a first trade. So again, we saw. Actually, let me leave that there. Again, we saw a liquidity sweep here. We saw a liquidity sweep here. There were previous highs and lows. There was VWAP price that came above it with speed. We had that 15-minute fair value gap here. Inside already another one. And then this is not a 15-minute fair value gap. I don't even know why I got this. Oh, my bad. Yes, it is. It is a 15-minute fair value gap. It came into one within another one. We didn't particularly, I wouldn't say that we had a breaker. That wasn't necessarily what I was looking for because I had everything else. But we can draw a fib from pre-market high to pre-market low to pre-market high. And price came right back to the 50%. And then it bought up to the second TP. Any questions so far, ladies?
No, no questions. I think for me, this just reminds me that I need to study. I'm getting really familiar with being able to identify the different confluences.
Okay.
Because watching you set it up, it looks so clear, you know?
And this, of course, is after the fact. Let me see. I can show you. You know what? That's what I'll do. Will it pull up here? I need my trading view to show up. Will it let me log in? No. Stop sharing to show my other. Okay, so this got a whole bunch of lines and stuff on it. Let me clean this up. Okay. This looks like a whole bunch of chaos. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense though. There's just different levels that I like to pay attention to. And then I don't want, there's something that's showing that shouldn't be. Okay. All right. Let's try to see this in real time. Let's go back and let's do a replay from what's this, Thursday? I guess we can do from this week. So right here in your trading view, ladies, and I think that this is a part of a paid, I think it is a part of a paid one. I'm gonna clean this up, clear everything off. We'll replay, start new. Come down here to select the date, and we will start at what's today? Let's start from last week at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is 18? Yeah. Alrighty. So we're starting on Monday. Prices, at 8 o'clock. Child, I don't know. Oh no, that's 6 o'clock. Okay. So we're starting on Tuesday. Okay. So looking back, all we can do is see what is to our left. What is the trend currently on a 15-minute, an hour, higher time frame? What do we see? Are we bullish or are we bearish? Is price going down or going up, ladies?
Sorry, I wasn't on mute. I'm sorry. Here it's going down.
Yes. So we are in a bearish market. So we know that we have that anticipation. We realized that yesterday price did buy significantly. However, we're at a high from a higher time frame, and we're on a 15-minute. So this is the close of Monday's market. We do not know what's happening to the right. So we just got to mark up our charts as if we don't know what's going on. So here we see that at market close, price came to a 15-minute fair value gap, and we just got to see what happens after that. So in order to play, a part of back testing is which if we have time, we may get to it. I might have to do a separate video and just send it to you all. But you can go to stay on the 15-minute, or you can go down. I like to go down to a 1 minute if I can. And then you can select your speed. For the sake of time, we'll go to a 3 minute. You can select your speed and price will play it out for you so you can see in real time how you might react. So I'm gonna press play. So I'm moving it a little bit faster now just because this is like Asia session. So we're just seeing how price might react. It's 10 o'clock. How will we describe what we see right now, ladies? Is price going in a particular direction or is it just ranging? Or what is it doing now?
I would still say down.
So Mickey, for you, these are 15-minute candles, right? This would be an entry. If you look at from price from here to here, no liquidity was taken as it pertains to this previous high. However, price did come and take out this liquidity. This was a previous high from the previous day. So technically that was taken out. I was looking over here, but this liquidity was taken from what day was that? This was Monday, and we're in technically in the going into the next trading day. This is a equal high. Actually, I'm gonna just make that purple. Not equality. So we have a liquidity sweep on a 15-minute. Then we have price breaking structure. We have 15-minute value gap, fair value gap. We have price breaking structure with the last blue one that it created right here. So here, price broke and it broke with displacement. Now we just have to wait for price to come back to that area. And what is this, ladies? We talked about at the beginning of this class.
Is this the breaker?
It is a breaker, And so the way that this goes together is we were looking for a change in state of delivery. We're on the 15-minute also, so this is even more of a confirmation. We got that change in state of delivery. We have a market structure shift. Price broke below the last bullish structure point. There's also a bullish OB right here because it's bearish, so it would be opposing. There's a bullish one, and it didn't hold. So now it's become a bearish breaker. Price broke below it. Price came back to it, and I bet if I drew a fib from this high, price didn't quite get there, but it was close. We can do this high, or we can do the previous high that just occurred, which is this is the one that we actually should do. The last high that actually occurred. So this high to this low, and price came down to that 50% and it continued to sell. Now this
Gotcha.
is just me looking at this in real and I don't remember this at all, but this is a way for you to back test and also check your temperament because as you're on the chart, things will be moving fast. And also for anyone who does want to trade during Asia session, there is opportunity. So we could have got in for a trade for a short, let's say it wasn't even perfect, but you made your stop at 50, which was right above this breaker. And if price came back above this breaker, it was time to get out anyway because we must have been on the wrong side. And then you could take it down to either the next structure point or this next OB right here or this next structure point that's down here. So let's see what happens.
Oh, wow.
And that's 200 points. Now, mind you, it's also Asia. I don't know if that Asia gonna give you 200. I would have took my 50 and went on to sleep. But let's see what happens.
Question, are there some moments where, although you've gotten the confirmation from the confluence, like that you see setups within the setups, like this candle that's forming this last very candle, would this be a setup for another breaker point? Because, or is it too like early to call it that?
Let me clear this up so I can see a little bit better what you're talking about. Okay, so this candle right here, this 3:30 a.m. candle.
Yeah, I guess depending on where that's closed, right?
It's closed.
Okay.
I believe it's closed now. We're in replay mode, so I have to see. Yep, it was closed.
All right. Yeah. So I guess I'm wondering, I guess it doesn't matter though, because we have enough confirmation to stay in this trade.
We can stay in this trade. Are you saying as if you were to miss this trade to get into another one? Or are
Like
you saying
so let's say like I didn't see that setup. Or let's say I like took profit because I'm maybe was playing it safer with this. And then I'm like, wait, there's like more confirmation that it's going to continue to go in this direction.
okay, so you're saying you took profit and then you want to get back in?
Right. Yeah.
I don't recommend.
Okay.
If I may add, and only because of your most expensive and valuable asset, which is your mental capital. Once
It's just
you
yeah.
huh?
It's just not worth it. Because you know what,
It's
this is
not.
minute chart. So it would take an hour to even know whether to get back in. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and these are 15 minutes, so it's just moving fast. And so it looks quick, but it would have you emotionally may not have stayed in that long.
And I think the reason I asked that question, I'm just trying to get used to like being able to identify some of
Mhm.
these different things. So that's why I was just asking.
No, and then let's see how it plays out because you might be able to draw you a fib, and then that is an entry because after price breaks this OB, this 15-minute OB, you don't
Mhm.
have any resistance. So if that does price breaks it and then it retraces, you do have space for another 113 points. So let's see what it does.
Okay. Because when I was looking at when you were saying you could take profit here or here, I was like, wait, this is like a big move.
It is a big move, but emotionally,
It's not worth it. I get that.
if you have the time now,
Yeah.
because I don't like to trade at night or I just don't trade in the evening time, I wouldn't have been up for this. And
Mhm.
then when I'm at work, I know that I'm moving around and things like that. And I know for sure what it is that I see. And I don't have to second guess it as much. Asia, I'm personally not as comfortable with, but there are a lot of people that make good money in Asia. I don't have the discipline for it.
I think a lot of things I could appreciate about your style of trading. I think the fact that you're like in and out and then just we'll do the next setup tomorrow. I
Mhm.
don't want to build a muscle to your point of staying in these trades too long or whatever, because it's just like you said, emotionally not what I want to do. Yeah.
Just not. And I appreciate you for saying that because it's taken a long time to get there. I have blown enough accounts. I have seen four-figure days turn around to be negatives because I just wanted a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that greed is I didn't think that I was greedy.
Until you
I
get,
started seeing the money and I'm just like, oh shoot, it looks like price is gonna go, it's gonna go right here. Or it's gonna go right here. You already up $600.
and I think it's also not just coming from context too, and
Mhm.
just realizing over a period of time that there's always going to be more
It
opportunity,
is. It
always
is.
another great setup. Like the one that you showed today, I think getting some of these trades where it's so much confirmation where it's like a no-brainer. You can confidently take it. This is really good. This is helpful.
Good. I'm glad. I'm really glad. So, yes. So we were here. I don't know if this is broken yet. Let me slow it down a little bit, actually, so I can really see. So, Lauren, to your point, let's see what happens. Price, now it does break. Price does break. We got to pause. It broke and it actually came to this 15-minute fair value gap. Price retraced back into that 15-minute fair value gap. And that really right there, that is a trade. If you would have missed it, I would have been confident in getting in here, moving this right here to an entry level of the 50% of this fair value gap, which is also a really good rule of thumb. When you see price break a fair value gap, no matter how large or how thick or thin it might be, waiting for price to get back into that 50% gives you better risk to reward instead of waiting for it to just touch it. 9 times out of 10, it will get back to this 50%, at least half of it. So that gives you a better opportunity. But we'll still keep it at a 50-point stop and then see if we can get price to go all the way down here or at least to this OB. I like to go OBs like right before structure, especially when you already 100, you only need 100 points. That's because price can bounce back around on you really quickly. So let's see what happens.
And see, to your point, it's moving in the right direction, but I think the amount of time, at least I think it is, the amount of time it's taking to do that
Yeah, because
is
that's 4 hours. That's five
waiting,
hours.
and it feels like it's consolidating a little bit. I'm not sure it's wicking out. Also can see just the pace that this Asia market is moving at.
Now we are in right here. We're in London.
Oh, London.
We
Okay.
moved out of Asia. Asia did have this move. There
Okay.
was chop during London session. I'm sorry, yeah, during London session, which is from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. So we had some chop, and then actually, I'm sorry, the chop really started in London lunch. So
Mhm.
when price got right before market open, and then price came and gave more value down. So I personally would not have been wanting to be in this.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Even emotionally, me watching it right now, I don't have any trade in. This is a week ago, and I'm just like,
And I think it's a little bit different in like where the first entry where you came in originally. I think that was the move, honestly.
and
That,
so you don't know how far this is going to go or what additional levels price could be coming to,
yeah,
or you could just wait till 9:30 and see what price does.
that's true. That's true.
But we weren't looking at time; we were just looking at price action.
Yeah, that is that.
So to your point, that could have been at least it might have been a little. That was 41 points. And once you saw price turn back around and close bullish, you might have said, you know what, this is enough. 29 points is not worth the emotions.
For a couple hours. Yeah.
It's really not.
And you're really
And then
dumb.
especially during this time of day, it's like you can get another trade later on.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah. But okay, that's very helpful for sure. I appreciate you walking through that.
As far as prepping,
Oh my God, I didn't realize what time it
hey,
was. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mickey.
no, like as far as prepping, okay, I'm gonna get in this one. Let me check it out. Because if you do the 15-minute one and it goes so fast, how long does it take you to find your confluences to like, okay, let me go ahead and get in before it quickly switch?
Oh no. So this is I not only did I speed this up, but this is the price won't be moving that fast.
Okay.
This is a 15-minute, these are 15-minute closures,
Mm.
would not be moving quite that quickly. I was only doing that for time.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
stop this,
And
stop the
also
replay.
you're not typically entering in off of a 15-minute chart anyway, right?
I am looking at a 15-minute chart to see that would be my confirmation.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm looking at it, but my entry would really be on a 5 minute. But everything, it's a higher time frame. Like I'm starting at the daily, going from the daily to the 4 hour, then the 1 hour, and then the 15-minute is like my just a good middle point, and then the entry would be that 15-minute.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Gotcha, gotcha.
So just for reference, the market is open right now. This is a 15-minute candle. This is how slow it's moving. And this is typically how slow it does move. It'll pick up a little bit around 8 o'clock because that is actually when Asian session, their Asian markets, the banks are open. That's their 8 a.m. Their, I believe it's their 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. So it'll pick up a little bit, but you won't have a whole lot of value. But just for point of reference, in preparation for tomorrow, we know that there was a 15-minute fair value gap here. We saw price hit that area as well as the VWAP, and it rushed up. It broke an hour structure here and then additional here. So prices are at another coming up to another structure point. What I would like to see, actually, it doesn't matter what I would like to see. I do not try to predict the market. I just want to react. And let me reiterate that. I don't want to say it like we want to see this or we trying to. No, we're gonna take whatever the market gives us when it's ready to give us, and no, not a minute sooner. I want to draw. Am I missing it? Where's my drawing tool? Here, the brush. So we have structure here. We have structure here. So what would be great is if price came, did this, and then continued up. So now we have like continuation trades we can look in for tomorrow. Now price might do, let me do another color. Uh-uh. So price might do this, come here, break, and it might break hard, come back here, because this is the next structure point, or I guess it technically would be an OB, and then continue to sell. And we could get either one of those,
Right.
but we're focusing on structure and we're focusing on time. And what I wanted to get into today is how the Asian market is usually a consolidating market. London shows us a sweep, and then New York usually shows us the real move. So that another reason why I don't like to get into the chart on the charts before actual New York is because London might give a lot of volume in a certain direction, but it might be the manipulation of price in order to engineer price to go in the opposite direction. So I like to see the full layout of everything that's happening between 6 p.m. to about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I can make a better educated guess of what could potentially happen.
Okay.
That makes sense.